older. It's not about looks. It's how the person treated you. The person was there for you, whatever. But she's not attractive, right? So he gets out of lockup, and I'm hearing, I didn't know he got out of lockup. I heard from somebody like, yo, Tasha, did you hear Judas got out of lockup? You heard Judas got out of lockup? And I was like, nah, because I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. So one of the boys wrote me that was cool with him, was like, yo, huh? I thought he told me that he was trying to get with you. How did this, you know? And I was like, well, you know, and I'm explaining, because I always have a soft spot for Judas, bro. So I'm like, this is another story time. I hope everybody's doing well, everybody's doing good in the hood. So this is a story time, and this I'm going to do this story time because this person is going to be completely out my life. And I feel as if I have to do the story time to completely eliminate this person. So this person probably will be brought up a couple of times here and there. But I just need to eliminate this person. Like, I just decided, like, this year has gonna be the year that I'm just eliminating everybody. Anybody from my past, any exes, any friends, everybody. Like, well, not friends, but if you are in my past and you're not currently in my life right now, you're gone. I'm not doing no backwards, forgiving, whatever. So I'm not gonna say who this person is on purpose, because he is in other story times, but I'm gonna talk about the dynamic of him. And a lot of people who do follow him, they're like, oh, that's this person, but I'm gonna call him Judas. Okay, Judah. Okay, the guy that betrayed Jesus? Judas. Okay, so I'm gonna explain. So back in the days, Judas used to go to my school. He went to Brighton High with me, and I didn't really speak to Judas a lot. Judas was more of a person that was cool with, that was like the dude that, you know, he came to school, he was a new guy, so everybody, we didn't really have a lot of like boys in our class mostly had a lot of girls. So when he came to school, everybody's like, oh my god, Tasha, Judas, yo, he looked like Tupac. I'm like, oh, Tupac, oh, where? Because anybody who knows me, that's what they call me. Tupac is my husband. So I'm like, God, I'm gonna see Tupac. When I seen him, he was a cute guy. He was dark skinned, nice eyes, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't look like Tupac. Tupac is, yeah, he's fine too, but not like Tupac, you know what I'm saying? So, I ended up like going like, okay, whatever. So Aisha ended up seeing him, and she was like, yo, you know, I guess like everybody already had dibs on him. But I'm not the type of person, even if I like somebody, I would never go to the person but, oh, I like you. No, that's not me. But I already seen like everybody was sweating him, so I just was like, oh, okay, whatever. Because that's how I am. If somebody, like, if I see somebody and the person is sweating the person, I'm like, oh yeah, leave it as is, or whatever, right? So Aisha started dating him, you know, because Aisha's the type of girl, she's like, I told you, Aisha's not an ugly girl. Aisha's just the type of girl, she has a really nice body. So Aisha was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, I got with Judas, like, oh, he's fine, whatever. Judas is fine. Judas had nice teeth. Judas was a very handsome boy, right? So I was like, okay, whatever. She said, yeah, whatever. So everybody was like kind of mad at Aisha, like, dang, you know, because everybody kind of had dibs on him. Well, I didn't. I didn't really care. So when Aisha was like dating him, so Aisha was messing with him, whatever. She was talking about like, yo, how he's packing, he, you know, she can't take the D, da 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 da. Alright, so when Judas and her started messing around, Judas ended up bringing up to the school. When Judas brought them to the school, Judas, he ended up bringing a thing to the school, so Judas ended up getting expelled. So Judas made it to the news. Everybody was talking about Judas, whatever. Oh, Judas brought a thing to the school. Judas brought to the school, whatever. Our school was so messed up, child. So Aisha was so hurt, like, oh my god, whatever. So Judas ended up coming out. I don't know if he got out in bail, whatever. So one day it was me, Keisha, and Aisha. It was a whole bunch of us walking, right? And Judas was downtown, right? He had like a black dude around on. He was dressed in all black, right? And Judas kept looking at me, yo, bro. I mean, like, if looks can kill, Judas kept looking at me. And I remember this, like, vividly, because I was attracted to Judas because the fact Aisha was messing with him. It was like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, Aisha Aisha was like talking to him because, you know, Judas ended up breaking up with Aisha. So I told you Aisha ended up like being so sad because if you know in other story times, Aisha is so exaggerated, like, oh the love of my life, I love him, I'm gonna kill myself. That's Aisha, right? So we end up seeing that. She's like, my son, my nigga. And her and Keisha's talking to him and he's talking to her, but he's staring at me. Like, if looks can kill, he is looking at me. And I see him looking at me. So I'm just staring at him back like, what the fuck you looking at me for? You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, okay, I don't know him to be like, oh, what's up? So I didn't really say anything to him. So I end up going, I am going to, like, yo, I'm going to go to Wendy's. And Keisha's like, you know, nice to you. So Aisha stayed there and talked to him for a little bit. I don't remember who he was downtown with, but Aisha ended up staying with him. Mind you, I'm telling you, I remember him vividly because I just remember our eye-to-eye contact because we just kept looking at each other, right? So I'm looking like, because whenever somebody looks at me, it gets me like annoyed, like, what the fuck, why you keep looking at me, right? So I end up walking away, whatever. So Aisha's like talking to him, you know, having a conversation, whatever. So she, you know, everybody's all happy to see him, you know, whatever. And he was like talking about whatever. So I end up leaving, right? I end up leaving. So when Aisha was like talking to him, she's all happy, you know, everybody's happy to see him but me because I didn't really know him, whatever, right? Fast forward years later, I remember I was on Instagram. So this is like when I was kind of like, I told you, I was in my single mode. I was enjoying my life. I feel like this was kind of like my prime when I had like I was a good weight. I wasn't too skinny. I wasn't too thick. Well, I was still skinny, but you know, like I was still, you know, whatever. But to me, I was thick because I started getting a little butt. I said, oh, I'm thick, you know? So I ended up like going on Instagram, like I'd be on Instagram. So I wasn't really a social media person back in the days. The only thing I used to do back in the days was YouTube. Like, well, no, YouTube, I didn't even do YouTube yet, right? So, so he like inboxed me, like, you know, like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, I don't even remember exactly how he inboxed me, right? And I'm like, oh, what's up? You know, whatever. And we started like talking all the time, right? Like, you know, like more, at first it was more like Instagram inbox, whatever. And I told you in the beginning, I thought he was selling his girl because he used to put pictures, naked pictures of his girl all the time. Like, well, not naked pictures, like pictures of her butt, side boob, whatever, her in thongs. And it's like, yo, I thought he was a pimp. So I thought he was prostituting her, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. Checking on me because this story, so I thought he was kind of like like he was a pimp because he used to have pictures of the girl everywhere, right? So he asked me for my phone number. I gave him my phone number because he's like, I don't really be on the app like that, whatever case may be. That's okay, sure. You know, so we started building a friendship, right? Me and Judas used to talk every day, right? Every day he'll check on me, I'll check on him, you know, type of thing. But Judas had a girlfriend. Well, then he ended up telling me the girl that he was soliciting on the internet and showing her body was his girl. And I was like, what? He said, well, she likes me to do that because she got a big butt. Like, I said, oh, okay, you know. So he started showing her body all over social media, whatever the case may be. And fast forward, we started like talking on the phone all the time, right? So then all of a sudden Judas became my best friend, right? But at the point of the time when I used to tell people like, oh, Judas is my best friend, Judas is my best friend, a lot of people used to say, Tasha, I think you like Judas. I was like, no, Judas is my best friend, Judas is my best friend, right? Judas, one day we was talking on the phone, I don't know what happened. All I hear that there was a lot of going back and forth, back and forth. He said, yo, T, I'm gonna call you back, whatever. I haven't heard from Judas, right? So that day I had to go to, what the hell? Security, right? So this is when I worked security. So I went to go do security. So this is the time Sun was around, whatever, right? And my friend Liz, and I'm telling my friend Liz, if that's really her name, that I was like, yo, I have not heard from Judas. Like, Judah, I haven't heard from Judah. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, you know, give it a couple of days. I said, but Judah always calls me. You know what I'm saying? I text him. I wrote him on Instagram. He wasn't active on Instagram. So I was like, I don't want to sound like a crazy stalker because I'm just a friend. You know what I'm saying? But something just didn't sit right with me. I said, yo, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like, I felt it. Like, yo, something's wrong, right? So my friend Drama, I was telling her like about it, like, yo, you know, I haven't heard from Judas. Yo, it's mad weird. I haven't heard from Judas, whatever. She's like, yo, you know, have you checked the jails? Try the jails, check the jails. So I said, okay. So she calls and she checks the jails, whatever. She's like, yep. What's his first and last name? I told her the first and last name. She said, yep. Judas is locked up and he's at Nash. She's at Nash, right? So I never dealt with jails. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I said, how do I write him? Whatever. She's like, well, you know, since me and Pope, who was my ex-boyfriend, Drama was dating him at the time. Don't worry about it. If you can't keep up this, you got to catch up the stories, baby. Right? And this story is I kind of gave a summary to the story too. So a lot of people who do watch the story times kind of know. So Drama was like, oh, yeah, so just come, we could go double date, right? So I go there, you know what I'm saying, I want to go see him, whatever, you know. Nash, I've been to Nash before because my daughter's father was locked up there, and then when I found out he was sleeping with Keisha, I went up there still, and I was pregnant with my daughter, and I started like banging on the little thing, and they told me I had to leave. But anywho, right? So I went to Nash, and then, you know, Judas was like, oh my God, Tasha, I didn't expect you to come. And I was like, well, you know, why not? You know what I'm saying? You know, me and you built a really good friendship. We built a really good relationship. Why wouldn't I come? He said, yeah, I don't know. I just never thought you would come. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, that's what people are here for. It's not when you're happy and doing well. It's when you're going through it that you really need a friend, right? So fast forward, I started learning about the jail thing because I didn't know about the jail thing. So I was like, okay, you know, I started seeing him because at first Nashville is like more of a lenient jail, so anybody could come to Nash. So I went to Nash, you know, I'll go up whatever before his sentencing, and then he went to the jail, the real jail. Oh my God, he was locked up. They won't let him out, right? So this is around the time frame Sun and me was kind of talking, whatever, right? Sun is married guy, whatever, right? So when me and Sun are talking, whatever, you know, I'm like kind of holding Judas down because I'm like, oh, Judah, you know, I have to go visit Judah because, you know, like, that's my boy, right? So the first time I went to the, you know, we was writing letters, you know, he would talk to me at the time, so he was going through it. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever, I'm gonna be there for him. I'm gonna stick beside my friend. That's my friend. I'm gonna stick beside him because I know how it is to go through something and you just have nobody, right? So I went to go visit Judah. I used to write letters to Judah. Me and Judah used to be on the phone. Like, you know, I told you, jail call. He used to call me 2 times. I think one at 7, one at 9 o'clock. And me and Judah would talk on the phone all the time, right? Then when me and Judas, we started like kind of talking on the phone, whatever. He like, I low-key was doing all the jail things. I was talking on the phone with him all the time. You know, I made Judah my priority. But then that's when I started noticing I like Judah. You know what I'm saying? The friendship is kind of not the same anymore. I have feelings for Judah, right? So Aisha at the time, this is like fast forward years after, right? So Aisha came back in my life again. This is after I found out about her sleeping with Polo and all that. Aisha started becoming cool with me again. But I didn't trust Aisha the same. It wasn't like the same friendship. It more was an associate. Aisha was dating my cousin's cousin, right? So he's a cousin through marriage, right? So Aisha's boyfriend used to beat her really bad, right? So I think like the fact that she knew I was still cool with Judas, so she was trying to be cool with Judas, like, oh, Tosh put me on Twitter, and Judas was like, nah, because Judas used to be cool with Aisha's baby daddy, right, or her boyfriend at the time. So Judas was like, nah, I'm not fucking with it, you know what I'm saying, like, that's between them, whatever. And she's like, put me on the phone. It's like, nah. Judas was like, nah, bro, like, no. So everybody knew if it comes to the time Judas and I, Judas is on the phone, Judas is number one. I always put Judas on the phone. Judas write me letters. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the mail, post office. Low key, I'm learning about jail. You know, I'm driving there. I remember one time, I ended up staying in the jail because they locked down the jail, and I had to go pick up my daughter after school program, and I was late, so I had to call my cousin. Like, can you go pick up my daughter? Can you go pick up my daughter? So, so everybody keeps saying here like, Tasha, you know, like, you know, you like Judas, you like John, like, nah, just my homie, just my nigga, that's my nigga. So Judas ended up, he was dating the black girl, the one that he was soliciting and showing her body parts all over social media. Judas would date her first. Oh, let me just finish this shit. Alright, I finished my popsicle. Greedy spirit, right? So, Judas, and I end up like, I'm always on the phone with Judas, and Judas calls me, I'm writing letters, like, Judas was my priority because Judas was my safe space, you know what I'm saying? Judas and I talked about things that we never, ever talked about, right? So, so me and him, like, was having conversation, we was talking, whatever, he was with the black girl. So the black girl ended up getting pregnant, right? And she ended up doing him wrong. So the white girl that he was with kind of slid in, right? So now, mind you, this dude told me about the black girl, like, okay, Monday, yeah, me and this black girl's dating, and then the next week, yeah, me and the white girl are together, right? So when he started talking about the white girl, I'm like, huh? Because it kind of confused me. Because he kept saying, my girl this, my girl that, my girl that. So I'm like, you're back with the black girl? He said, no, I'm not with the black girl. I'm with the white girl. So, well, she's Spanish, whatever, right? He said, I'm with the Spanish girl. When I seen the black girl and you see the Spanish girl, it's like night and day, bro. So I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm with the Spanish girl. I'm with the Spanish girl. I have no shade, no tea. You know, you do your thing, whatever. So, in a way, I was a little heartbroken, and I'm not gonna lie, because I felt like, dang, bro, like, why you don't pursue me, no sir? But I didn't. He did try, but I just felt as if at that time he needed a friend, and I felt like, okay, you know what? He's like, Tasha don't want to get with me. Now I'm gonna just get with the white girl, right? So he ended up being with the white girl, right? So now he's with the white girl. You know, our phone calls are getting less and less. You know, the letters are getting less and less. Whatever, right? So probably. So I held him down low-key 3 years. The 4th and the 5th, everything started kind of dwindling down because this is when the white girl's around, right? So the white girl had really big insecurity. She was really insecure. So I felt like he had to put all his attention on her. And at the time, you know what I'm saying, she's kind of like his girl now. So now he's not appreciating me anymore. That's how I felt. Like, I felt like I was going through so much. And my priority was Judas, and Judah was not there for me. You know what I'm saying? When I needed a friend, I needed whatever, it was like, it became him, right? Mind you, I've been there for Judas for a while. So this is around the time frame I got with my son's father. You know, and I still was holding down Judas. My son's father kept saying, yo, I don't want you to hold him down. Why are you holding this dude down? I said, no, you know, yeah, because, you know, yeah, you know, like, you know, you're trying to make excuses because I really cared about Judas at the time, right? So, fast forward, I kind of was going through it with my son's father. My son's father was like, I told you, he was very malicious. He would kick me out of cars in the highway. When I ended up getting pregnant with my son, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't think Jeremiah was born yet. So me and Judas was like still talking. So we was talking, you know, we was like whatever. So when me and Judas and I was dating, my son's father, in a way, he kind of dropped me in a way because his priority was the girl, and you know, he wasn't really around, whatever. So, you know, so I would write him here and there. Then I end up having my son. Yeah, I did. I had my son, and then my son, as soon as I had my son's father started treating me really badly, right? We would fight, we would argue, you know what I'm saying? He would kick me out of cars, he would call the police, we were going, and this is the beginning, okay, baby, and I still stay like an idiot, right? So, I told you before, I always wanted to show Judas the good side of me. I never showed Judas the bad side. And at the time, I kind of felt like Judas kind of dropped me because he was with the girl, right? So, you know, we would talk here and there, you know, here and there, he'll call me, I'll talk to him here and there, but it wasn't the same anymore because all he kept talking about, like, you know, he'll talk about the girl, you know, about how her insecurities and stuff like that, whatever. I said, okay, whatever. So then we end up fast forwarding, you know what I'm saying, I ended up getting, me and my son's father was kind of going through it, so I ended up going to a shelter, which I got kicked out of. I ended up going to a shelter, and I was in a shelter for about like a year or two, but I just, my mental wasn't there, bro. My son's father left me for dead, he left me for dead, right? So I went to the shelter for a year, and I got a letter, right? Honestly, till this day, we don't know how that letter got here, but I got a letter. And Judas was expressing everything, like, you know, how he loved me, you know, like, you know, he don't understand why I didn't give him a chance or whatever, blah 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 blah, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that I'm the love of his life, and you know the reason why he got with his girl was because the fact that I wouldn't give him the chance, blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of wrote like a letter back, basically stating like, you know, I feel as if at the time, you know, I feel like you're just jumping from person to person because the fact that, you know, you're at a hurt place, and you know he lost his grandmother, he was going through a lot, bro. So I was like, yo, you don't need a girlfriend right now. I feel as if like you need to build you, right? After that letter, I never heard from Judas. Judas got out of the lockup. I never heard from him, right? Okay. So Judas left me for dead for like 6 months. No, Judas left me for dead for a year and some change, right? So I started seeing Judas everywhere. Everybody started like sending me, because like I told you, he told a lot of people about me. So a lot of people was like kind of confused. Like, I thought y'all, huh? Because one of his boys was like, I thought he told me that, what? Where this white girl come from? So he came back, he had a Thug Life tattoo, the girl had his name, Judas's wife. Judas has done it a lot. Yo, it's good. And when I seen the girl, I was like, whoa, like, she looked like the Grinch who stole Christmas. No shade, no tea. Compared to the black girl I seen her, I said, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So, anywho, you know, you love who you love, right? But I could tell why she was insecure. Because when I seen her, I said, oh, that's why she's insecure. Because Judas is a very handsome guy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, it's like night and day. But it's not about looks. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, it's not about looks. It's how the person treated you. The person was there for you, whatever. But she's not attractive, right? So, so he gets out of lockup, and I'm hearing, I didn't know he got out of lockup. I heard from somebody like, yo, Tasha, did you hear Judas got out of lockup? You heard Judas got out of lockup? And I was like, nah, because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. So at the time, so one of the boys wrote me that was cool with him, was like, yo, huh? I thought he told me that he was trying to get with you. How did this, you know? And I was like, well, you know, and I'm explaining, because I always have a soft spot for Judas, bro. So I'm like, yo, you know, the white girl was there for him, and you know, and I get it, and blah 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 blah. So then he comes with a Thug Life tattoo of the girl's name. She got his name, a whole bunch of foolish on social media, you know, doing all that, whatever. So I left it, I took it as an L, you know, whatever. Judas never hit me up, never a thank you, I appreciate you. Mind you, I held him down longer than Shorty had held him down, okay? Because the black girl was around at the time. So, so he ended up, you know, disappearing. I was like, all right, we moved on with life, whatever, right? But I started holding resentment towards Judas. Judas popped back up again, okay? And he pops up twice. You know what? I'm gonna leave that for a part 2, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Please let me know. If you like the story time, please thumbs up. And yeah, I'll follow you up with part 2 with Judah, okay? Judah, because Judah is a B-I-T-C-H, baby. A B-I-T-C-H, yo. That's an op for life, bro. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys